Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a new episode of Flesh Wound Farce, where we review and discuss your and our favorite comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California, Ozzy V. And also with me, as always, on this program, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler, Greg.
I'm pointing the wrong way. Just ignore me.
Yeah, I was like, why are you pointing the wrong way? World-famous juggler Greg Larson, who is most definitely themed out in the movie that we are reviewing and discussing today.
Cheers,
Beerfest.
gentlemen.
How are you doing today, Greg?
Oh, I'm great. Little day drinking, good time to be had. How about yourself?
I'm good. Also with us, ladies and gentlemen, Flesh Wound producer Todd. How you doing, Todd?
I am chilling. Excited for today's movie also. Not as excited as Greg, apparently, but...
Interesting. Today we have the pleasure of reviewing and discussing the comedy film Beerfest, which was released on August 26th, 2006. Todd, do you have a trailer available?
Of course.
There is a sport where teams from around the world
Looks like we got the Brits in round one.
gather to compete.
We're gonna put the skitters in your Alan Wickers, you plonker!
Do you know what he's saying?
Beerfest.
Let the games begin.
We've been training for a super secret international beer drinking competition, and we're taking on the Germans for national pride.
Yeah, why don't you go back home to your strip malls and drink your Zimas and Smirnoff Ices? Hoo-yah! Hoo-yah!
A competition
If we're gonna drink like the Germans, we're gonna need a little help.
where revenge
They want a war? We'll give a war they won't believe.
is best served ice cold.
I'm better when I'm drunk.
From the geniuses who brought you the phenomenon, Super Troopers.
Miss Hops. Miss Barley. Miss Yeast.
I think I'll stay away from that one.
Comes the motion picture event of the year.
It's the greatest beer in all the world!
I wish it were winter. We could make it into ice blocks and skate on it. And then melt it in the springtime and drink it.
See you in the next round, boys. We are going to spank you.
A movie that could only be called
Now, you guys don't want to be my teammates, do you?
You boys are a team. You must train for Beerfest. Here, eat. Well, we sleep better, but a little sausage with me.
Gotta get you out of those wet clothes and into a dry martini.
What?
I said, oh, martini?
Get away from me. You like it rough?
I like that. I like that very much.
Sweet creamery butter.
Beerfest.
Any resemblance to any persons, places, or events in this movie are purely coincidental and frankly quite sad. If you attempt anything you see in this film at home, you will die. No Germans were harmed during the making of this film. Please drink responsibly and treat all women with respect.
So that was the trailer for Beerfest, rated R, runtime of 110 minutes, released on August 26th, 2006, written by Broken Lizard, directed by Jay Chandrasekhar, which I'm sure I butchered this name, and I swear I'm going to get it right one day, but also the other Broken Lizard cast members, specifically in the starring roles were Paul Soter and Eric Stolchase, and also with Kevin Heffernan and Steve Lemmy. So I'm very torn on this movie because there's a disconnect. There was a disconnect with me in this movie where I never, ever had acquired a taste for beer. I skipped right to the hard liquor, and that was that. And I had my hard liquor. I drank it. Everybody was happy. So when tasting beer for the first time,
It's an acquired taste.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah.
And then I saw games being played around it, and I'm like, yeah, this it's like being at Knott's Berry Farm when you want to go to Disneyland. That's just how it was for me. Now, Knott's Berry Farm is still great for a lot of people, you know, but it's not. Maybe there's a terrible analogy, but it's hot dogs. I hate hot dogs. A lot of people love hot dogs, right? I'm not gonna. I get why people like hot dogs. I just don't. It's not my thing.
You
Having
do
said
like
that,
one hot dog, Ozzy.
okay, yes, okay. Now, but my point being is that if you're an individual who never participated in drinking games and basically what everybody's doing in this, it's not going to hit well with you. However, I can imagine if I was somebody that really got into it and was really competitive with his drinking games, I'd probably love it a whole lot more. But
I have to argue with you right out of the gate because while I do love drinking, never had the appeal of playing drinking games. Not my thing. Never
I really like the dynamic of this episode because we're all coming from very different standpoints.
Yes, we
because
are.
what's ironic about all this is one of the things I was thinking about was this brings me back to the days living with Ozzy. because
and those would be the days I'd come home and be like, oh, again.
And I was gonna be like, we'd have parties and we'd have beer pong in the backyard, and it would be a whole lot of fun. And I remember Ozzy being just like, God damn
Ozzy.
it.
So there's more than that. Ozzy has a dislike of these events.
Okay, well, here's the thing: is that when you wake up the next morning and like the table's there and like there's cups that are like half, spilled over, and there's just beer all over the table, and there's a guy literally sleeping on the floor underneath the table outside. It's kind of like,
and any of those smells were outside his bedroom window, and noises were outside his bedroom window. Yeah. A lot of things.
So Ozzy was the household man. Is that the problem?
Yeah. When you meet somebody for the first time, there's like a window or a certain threshold of amount of time you need to spend with somebody to really determine, would I hang around this person drunk? Right?
Yeah.
So there's times when I'd be living at the house when there'd be people there already drunk that I would be meeting for the first time.
And you're sober.
I'm sober, and I'm like, okay, like the guy coming out of the bathroom asking into a dry martini or whatnot. Some people looking like that.
Yeah.
Meeting for the first time. And then all of a sudden that person's passed out in my bathroom and I just want to pee, like,
yeah.
We actually had one of our roommates sound very scary, hit the bathroom door as though the police were here. That didn't help the situation. The guy was still on the floor. Like, I think he was out. I don't know how long he was in there for, but that was the only bathroom I had access to. I had to go to the Chevron down the street.
No.
So those like, so when like the activities that are parodied or performed in this movie, I have a unfortunate association with those activities.
Yeah.
However, this doesn't mean like it's not like Joysticks where it's a terrible movie through and through, or Private School was a piece of garbage. Yes. No, I'm actually saying it's not like one of those movies. This actually has some thought to it. It has some quality to it.
By the
it's
way,
Broken Lizard, so obvious.
I met up with my nephew last weekend and found out he's now working at an arcade. And I was like, I've got a movie for you. He's 18. It's fine.
Okay. All right. So, but so
having can do the classics. That's good. Good man.
Yeah.
So getting back to this one, it was really hard for me to find a part that I enjoyed more than others. I mean, just because the whole like activity behind it was just more just like, I'm just waiting for this to be done at that point. And it was hard for me to find or to identify points that were really humorous for me because I was already kind of just done. However, I still watched it, and just following it through with its ridiculous plot, there is still some heart that drives the movie. These two main characters are dead set on winning this and restoring their family name. And that's admirable. That's respectable. That's something like, yeah, sure, you could get behind somebody for that. It's not like the piece of garbage that is private school, where it's just like, oh, we just wanted to see some tits. Okay, we saw some. Oh, it's okay. And then they have sex on the beach for 20 minutes, and she apologizes just for being mad that he was in a room with a naked girl. But it's not like that. It's not like that.
Grievance episode.
I know.
I just had to throw it in there because
you just got to figure out a way to bring lost skeleton in here now.
Well, no, the only reason I bring that up and with these grievances is because while I personally did not enjoy the movie from the Aussie mindset, I'm not saying it's a bad movie, because I understand how it can be enjoyable and how
it just triggered some bad memories for Aussie trauma.
Yeah. I think it might have. Like, if there is, yeah. Go ahead.
How are you with party movies in general? Does that annoy you? Or is it very specifically the beer games?
Let's name some. Go ahead.
Project X is a recent one which has been requested.
We'll visit that, but what's one that, like,
I'm trying to think of other ones. I mean, like, the other ones I'm thinking of are ones that have, like, Can't Hardly Wait. Eventually we'll do that one. But I'm trying to think of ones that have, like, specifically annoying, like, parts. I can't think of anything right now.
I loved House Party.
Yeah, but that's not really a drinking party movie.
Okay, yeah. So you're thinking specifically, not just party movie, but like drinking party movie. Yeah. Is there a drinking party movie?
I mean, there's parts of Revenge of the Nerds and stuff like that.
But that wasn't like the underlying,
no, it's I can't think of anything.
Meanwhile, we did Harold and Kumar, which you enjoy, which is a smoking party movie.
Right.
But you have a very different take on it, even though there's still wildness within it.
There is, because it feels that not every joke is about pot, whereas almost every joke here has to do with one of the games or something. And I mean, there's the sex jokes, but I mean, there is a lot of
half my jokes have nothing to do with.
Well, it just wasn't like, it just wasn't. I don't know. It just wasn't hitting, I guess. For example, okay, Harold and Kumar had what in their car? Like a badger?
Yeah.
A raccoon.
Okay. Or raccoon. Okay, so looking back at that and looking at here now, I think what probably kept me on board with Harold and Kumar, aside from that being more a pot related movie, is the fact that it all took place over the course of one night. Mm-hmm. Whereas this was like trained for the course of a year. So it's much easier. I'm only trying to guess, because this is the question that's just been posed, and I'm trying to figure out if this is the truest accurate answer, is if there needs to be something that, if it's something that's not like over the course of a night, like Office Christmas Party, I think, or Horrible Bosses, that has like a short term period, there's got to be some more depth or substance to it for me. So like the whole idea of going the first time, failing, and then like training for a year, I'll see you guys later. Like, good luck. I mean, because if those were the individual, like if those happen to be like my friends, would I continue to hang out with them like as they're doing this stuff, or would I just, I'll go take care of some other stuff. Good luck. I'll check back with you guys in a year. Like I was just waiting for like just everything to be done. Like it was like too much time in between, I guess. Like when they first went there and they first lost, I was kind of like, so we're gonna go through an hour and a half of training. Okay. Like, I don't know. It didn't resonate with me.
Now my question is, which we didn't answer, you didn't even touch upon. Was this your first time watching it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But when I saw the commercials, I kind of had the same idea of like, and this came out in 2006 before I had moved in with Greg, but I was never, like beer never attracted me. So even watching the commercials, I was like, I'm sure it's funny, but probably not one that I'm really going to enjoy.
Technically, I was a malt liquor drinker at this point. There wasn't a lot of 40 beer games, except for Technically, yeah, if there was an Edward Forty hand segment, I would have been. I'd done that. Yeah, but
Okay.
Yeah,
which
we
now
already,
I'm thinking about that. It should have had an Edward Forty.
it really should have. Like that's definitely a game that was around that time. But like at this point in time at my house, we had already had uh a different Dan who was passed out around a toilet while someone else decided to use the lavatory, and we have a photo of it as well. So, like, these were the times I was in at the moment. So, this like movie was like it's nostalgia, not where I'm happy to be at. Like, I remember being down south and being like, yeah, I'm glad I'm not a part of that world anymore. But at the same time, it's great to revisit some of these films and have that come back up.
Yeah, for me, this is like one of those hangout films I used to throw on all the time.
Mhm.
This is the first time I think I've watched it since theatrical release, not drinking beer or already intoxicated.
Why?
Because I don't drink anymore. So I went the other way. And so I was preparing for the sequel. I guess we'll go that way.
That is actually my biggest frustration with this film is the lack of the sequel promised.
like right next to History of the World Part 2.
Well,
But
that
that
happened.
I mean, no, but not like the actual before the series was released.
Right.
You were
Or
still anticipating it.
like I'm still waiting for Dr. Detroit 2, The Wrath of Mom. Damn it.
Oh, that would be something. Dan Aykroyd came back for that. That'd be fantastic.
It's XL Dr. Detroit, but whatever.
Doesn't matter. I'd still want to see it.
He look funny in the suit now. But
Yeah.
well, it's one of my favorite movies. So, but
So-
yeah.
Well,
So, yeah.
speaking of favorites, do you guys have some favorite moments you'd like to share?
I have a whole list.
So many, so I will let you all go.
Well, does Ozzy even have any?
Answer is no.
Okay.
Answer is no.
Greg, we'll go back and forth a couple.
What?
There wasn't anything that was like, okay, that was funny. It's just like,
I've had movies like that where
Cool.
like I can't just pull something that's like just like, oh, that was hysterical. I get it.
like
So there are a few you're leaving out.
it was like
I call
an
trauma
extended.
shenanigans.
Well, what's that?
I call trauma shenanigans because there's plenty of, no matter what's going on, so many brilliant parts of this film. I think because of our days and the parties, you poo-pooed this much like any film someone is like, hey, it's popular, Ozzy, you need to watch it.
Okay, wow, this has been one of those movies that people have said, oh, you've got to watch this. You have to see this. This is not the case. I actually gave it a shot. As you know, with those movies, I'm very ignorant and stubborn and will just say, I'm not going to watch it. Just to drive people crazy. It's fun. But I'm not saying it was terrible. Like, would I recommend it to somebody? Sure. Would I recommend anybody to watch Private School? Absolutely not. Would I
I'm
watch
just gonna say
recommend
you had a
anybody?
favorite moment from Private School, but you can't find a favorite moment from this.
Damn.
Okay. The favorite moment. Hold on a second. The favorite moment I had
need
from
to
Private
drink
School.
from
You
Das
can pull
Hockey
up the
Stick
episode.
after
Pull
that.
up the episode if you want. The favorite moment I had from Private School was the ending. And I didn't want to give the disrespect to this film because I can see it's clear that there was an effort put into this. A lot of people like cared about this. So I'm not going to insult it by saying, oh, my favorite part was the ending. That I'll save for stupid pieces of crap like Private School, Joysticks, and Ski Patrol. Was it Ski Patrol or Ski School? I can't even remember. Bikini Car Wash 2, whatever. All stupid. Right?
Coming soon to Blu-ray.
Shots fired. Okay, but when it comes to this, I understand its quality. I just didn't have any favorite.
Do
moments
not
from it.
disrespect the bikini wave of the 1990s. There were so many classics that came out. Bikini Driving. We'll have to do that one soon.
No. Okay, so you guys
Let's go back to Das Hockey Stick. Ozzy was talking over it. It got no sold. Yeah.
Oh, geez. I didn't even notice that. Good
That's
You're
Lord,
too busy
Greg.
yelling.
Das Hockey Stick. So, funny enough, we went to a hockey game where we got free tickets, and this was like one of the things they sold. And whenever my wife said, look, it'd be great if there was a fight. And I said, the hockey stick of beer commands a fight to be had. 2 minutes later, a fight happened. This is the Thor's hammer of beer glasses. It commands and it does what it needs. So
The Mjolnir mug.
that's right. So, Todd, do
Okay.
you want to go with a favorite moment?
Oh, geez. Like I said, we can go back and forth on this one a few times. What's my favorite one? You know what? One of my favorite scenes. I laugh way too hard. It's after the first night of drinking, and we're getting like everyone, waking up after being passed out. Maybe I can relate too much, but when Landfill's wife finds him passed out in the fridge and thinks he's dead. So relatable and so hilarious.
Okay, I'm sorry. And he coughs up the ham. Was it ham? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll give you that. I mean, I don't want to steal it, but I do remember laughing at that moment. It didn't inspire me to write it down, but I did enjoy that moment.
Okay.
Greg?
All right. I'm going to take two since Ozzy wimped out on it. No.
Wimped out?
Let's just
gonna
go
say a
back and
few.
forth.
Just take two anyway.
Let's go back and forth a few times.
Yeah, let's go.
A few? Oh
There's-
my
yeah,
gosh.
Yeah. To
One
show you how
time.
much you missed Ozzy. So there's a moment where after the guys come back from Germany for the first time, they talk to Gam and they're like figuring stuff out and she leaves. And the first comment they have is, she couldn't be more not a whore. Like, moment. Oh, it was
All right.
brilliant. Like, it's fantastic.
I got it. You fancy yourself drinkers? Ja, maybe a little bit. I think we just beat the Irish, though.
And then the moment where Fink and Landfill are talking, I think it was Fink. It was Fink and somebody. There was a comment that said, "Why didn't he brew it?" And then Fink casually goes, "He brew it." It was just, I felt that was one of those lines that was kind of lost because it was so quick, but it was brilliant.
That's good.
I
did crack up at the Eye of the Jew, by the way. And he got the Star of David right there. That was pretty funny.
Excellent.
one of the things that one of the Landfill jokes is like when he comes back and he's all sad and he's just like, "Man, she took the kids," and then everyone else is like, "Oh my God, you had kids!" Like no one just does. Yeah, yeah.
And then the multiple different ways when they were drunk of saying Mr. Spiedelspackel. Just those fun moments that I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
And then the falling out of the casket bit, I could not laugh.
Oh, it was solid. See what you missed, Ozzy?
I've been shitting pancakes ever since.
What's a CJ? Ozzy. Really? Nothing? No?
Sorry.
Ask, you can't afford it.
All right.
Well, let's get to the ratings.
All right. You want to go first or last, Ozzy?
I'll go first. Now, while this isn't something that I enjoyed, it's clear that it is a quality comedy movie. That I can't take away from it. Even though it was something that didn't really interest me, at the end of the day, it is a little bit longer than I would have liked. 90 minutes is usually my sweet spot. This goes in a little bit longer, and I guess going in with a runtime, you kind of, when you see it being 110, you start overanalyzing, like, it could have been short in there, Then all of a sudden you're like, what am I watching? Dances with Wolves? You keep analyzing.
Fair, we watched the unrated version, which was a few minutes longer.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, even then, the unrated version, adds 6, 7, 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah. If this movie had like an 88-minute runtime,
too short.
But you're still wanting more, because at the end, I'm just more like waiting for it to be done, right? However, I'm not going to not acknowledge its quality, so I am giving it a 4. even though I didn't enjoy it as a comedy, I can acknowledge its quality. However, I did have to knock it down
You
a little bit because of
acknowledge
its
it?
length. Yes, I understand that. And it's fine now because it drives my fiance crazy.
Oh wait,
It's
we got something
hilarious.
breaking. What?
I don't understand humor. My God, you were such a prick.
In all fairness, I phoned that in. So
That was all Greg.
I gave it a good rating. It was good. Honestly, if it was less than 90 minutes, I would have given it a 5. Dead serious.
okay, all right, fair enough.
I'm not
fair
even
enough.
kidding.
This movie's hilarious. It's a 5. It now a lot of personal feelings with it because it does bring back a different time that I'm glad I'm no longer a part of, but was happy that I experienced. So, um, all around funny movie, fun story. The slap in the face of the tropes of the person standing in for somebody who passes away, fantastic as well.
So
Yeah,
and they
5
just like
hands
leaned
down.
into it.
Yeah.
You even called me it. Oh yeah, I'm 100% a 5 on this one too. Like I said, this was a go-to. It's a hangout movie. It's fun. Yeah. Hopefully we do get Pop Fest. I know we got Super Troopers 3 coming. I mean, for me, Broken Lizards never made a bad film. So
Yeah.
I loved Club Dread, by the way.
well,
'Cause that
that's
was one I
that's
did
on the
mention.
list for this October. So
Now I do
Oh,
have a question.
okay.
Can you, I mean, knock on wood doesn't happen anytime soon, but if needed, can you make a pot fest without Willie at this point?
you got to get Snoop then.
Fair. Fair.
Or a CGI version of him.
Yeah.
A smoke CGI version of him.
Yeah, there you go.
A smoke ghost.
Do something with the
Oh,
force.
a smoke ghost, yeah. Oh, there's always Cheech and Chong too.
Correct. There is always Cheech and
There's
Chong.
there's still some stoner icons left.
So it looks as though Beerfest, as of February 23rd, is available to stream on Prime. So if you are a Prime member, you can check that out, see if it is still available to stream. If not, it is available to rent or purchase wherever you consume your favorite digital content. And gentlemen, do you have anything else before we head off for the evening?
No, sir.
Yeah.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, if you are in the Orange County area and would like to partake in some beer while listening to some trivia, you can do so this Tuesday at the Rush Bar and Grill in Lake Forest beginning at 7 o'clock, as well as this Wednesday at the Brewery in Placentia, also beginning at 7 o'clock. Both are free to play and prizes for the top winning teams. Come on out and have some fun and drink. So, for world famous juggler Greg Larson and his Das hockey stick, and Flesh Wound producer Todd, I'm Ozzy V, and we'll see you next week right here on a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce.